What's up, guys? It's Aaron here. Listen, we're over halfway to monetization on YouTube. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we'll start to get paid from this. And what that means is we'll be able to bring you more content, extra episodes, specials, all that good stuff. So whether or not you're an audio listener or video, if you haven't yet subscribed, please go online and do that. It costs you absolutely nothing and it helps us so much. We love you. I hope you enjoy the episode.
What am I like? I gaslight, I manipulate. I've got it all, baby.
I was having a shit. You saw it. Could have ended there.
Is that a mob? Not the mob.
I got to the hallway, and as I'm walking towards the bathroom, I stand on something. It lets out a huge yelp.
This is the first time I've got the bus in from the studio, right? So I had a nice little stroll through Liverpool, and I miss walking through the city centre. Never do it. First thing, as soon as I get off the bus, I see a crackhead outside Wetherspoons calling it busy a scruff.
Oh, to be fair, Beth is in town, to be fair. That just makes sense. She's gone shopping in Liverpool one.
To be fair, the busies were just questioning a homeless person. I don't know the full details, but there was two full-on crackheads just like going, "Leave him alone, you scruff."
Was that the one by the Welkin?
Yeah. It was the Welkin,
it's a classic, that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll sit out that window with a £2 Foster's and just watch chaos. Yeah.
So it wasn't the Welkin, sorry, it was the one by Queen Square. Never really get the one that's weirdly underground. No, the Spoon.
You're sat there getting a phone call like, "What are you up to?" Oh, I'm mad busy, you know. I'm dead busy. I'll ring you back later. Yeah.
I'm like, there's a Fright Brewery here somewhere. In the next 20 minutes, I'm sticking around for it. Another 2 Desperados, please, love.
Pay and display mayhem. I'm torn about Wetherspoons because I feel like fundamentally I shouldn't be supporting that Tory business, but I just can't. I begrudge the price of pints these days.
It's one thing supporting local business, but then again, £5.50.
It is mad, isn't it? Because it's like the Tories.
That's the standard now. That's the standard.
It's like the Toryist gaff, but the most Labour prices, isn't it? You're like, vote Labour, live Tory. I don't know. Like you sort of have no choice, isn't it? It's quite poetic in a way that like it's a proper Tory place, but because of how much the Tories have fucked us, we can't afford to drink anywhere else.
Yeah. Do you know what I love? When you'll see someone who's got the fucking gall to put it on the story. Do you know, like, check into a Wetherspoons, it's like, why are you admitting to that? You know what I mean? You
might as well just post a picture like, "Hey, look at me, I'm broke." Mad
Just punching a tramp in the face.
Just there clinking a glass with a 90-year-old bloke who's on his 7th pint at 11 a.m. They're heroes.
That was a class. There was a brilliant Wetherspoons, probably my favourite, and it was on County Road. You familiar with County Road?
Yeah, I'm also familiar with County Road.
And it was again like I'd be getting the bus to school in the morning, and it was one of them open like veranda doors, so you could sit on it, and you could just and you can get a nice breeze while you were killing yourself. and these our fellas were there, fucking 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, and I mean, obviously they've got to do the job, but after a while, wouldn't you be like, I can't save them. I can't save them. In all good consciousness.
No.
17-year-old just slinging your fucking Fosters.
They're known now as well, aren't they? Those people who turn up at locals, they're known to like the staff and that. They'll all have their own mad nicknames. I know, like me wife's. I'm still not used to saying that, but my wife's sister. She used to work in this bar in West Derby Village, which is a bit nicer, isn't it? Yeah. And she went like there was a guy who used to come every single day whose name was Diet Coke Steve. Have a guess why? It's just all he'd order every single fucking day. Yeah, and his name was actually Steve, like, but it doesn't have to be for that nickname.
I thought it was Diet. I thought why are you specifying? Why are you telling us that?
No, because that's a typical like Scouse nickname. It doesn't have to be Steve, does it?
I thought it was going to be one of them like ironic nicknames. You know, like a massive fella, they call him Tiny. He's like the biggest. He's like the biggest pisshead you've ever seen in your life. It's like, oh, it's you know what I mean?
He could do with one.
Yeah, it's Tonic Steve again.
It's mad how well known that like those sort of people are. I don't know if I've told this story before, but when we first started running Feel Goods, I've run a night in Stockport for anyone that's listening, and it's a fucking Stockport's a shithole. You've been there. Well, you were there actually when it kicked off, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. Yeah. That was your old like not your friend, but a lad you knew from school.
Yeah. It was one of them as well because I was like, "Oh yeah, nice to see you again," and then 2 hours later I was like, "Fuck, keys."
The one guy you know.
Yeah. He was nice initially I remember him, but it was his beard. It was the trouble.
Missus was a
she was and it's horrible when they're good looking and that horrible. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's because you know you're gonna get away with loads. He's gonna get fucking battered one night.
She had the most
seriousness in your face.
Because he was that close away from getting jumped on by like 3 bars. We were all massive.
Oh, I thought you meant by her.
Did you not?
No.
The clip's like 7 minutes long on my Instagram. Have you not
seen it? Yeah,
it's
I've seen it,
just absolute lunatic.
Oh, mate, it got to the point where there was like these 3 barmen around him and like friends of his.
It wasn't that though. I felt half bad for him, because he started kicking off with one of the bar staff, and just on that particular night, the bar staff's mum, dad, brother, and his brother-in-law were all in, and they're all this fucking big.
All surrounded
So, like, when do you ever envision starting on some fucking bouncer, let's call him, or like a manager of a bar, and then his entire family just stood behind
your whole immediate family is there.
But they came to watch the show, so they've ended up like he's stood in the middle of them, and he's just surrounded by like 5 of the biggest lads. And you're like,
and he was still going because his girlfriend's sitting there, just arms crossed, watching it all happen, like probably creaming a little keks, like this is all me.
The reason I bring it up is because one of the very first times we...
you know what I mean? This is all because of me.
It was though as well. We started the second section and she just ran across the stage.
Oh, yeah.
But like the stage is this high off the ground, just jumped on it, ran across it. Rather than go like the long way around because she was sat on the front, just ran across and then sat in a seat, and then it just started from that. And you're like, well...
This is going to be a random thing to say to 2 stand-up comedians, but could you imagine setting foot in a room and just demanding to be centre of attention? Not obviously without a stage and that. Would you ever want that?
You're a horrible piece of shit.
But then
anyone who's
then to kick off about because you're unhappy with the amount of attention you've received so far.
It's insane. I always find it weird when it's older women. And you're like, you've got kids, you've got like, and you've just grew up being this much of a cunt. No one knew until you came to a fucking shoddy open mic in Crosby, you know what I mean? And you're going to ruin this kid's night. But I remember that night, and it actually worked out because I was on right after that. They got kicked out, and usually you'd be like, oh shit, that the atmosphere.
They're the absolute best gigs.
It was kind of like,
it's like a blitz
in spite of them, let's have a great night. So I probably got more than I deserved.
It's like you've all gone through that sort of
one of the best gigs I've ever had was Matt Reed was hosting a gig in Northwich from Manfords, and I was in the middle. And this woman was just being a knob since the start of the show, being a knob. Matt did 20 minutes off the top in the middle section because it was just all on her. And then she ended up getting kicked out, and there was 300 people in the room. And by the end of it, they were all going, hey, 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 goodbye. And I was stood at the fucking wings, me, like one of my first gigs for Manford, just fucking like, oh, this cannot be happening.
Sometimes you can almost not top that.
Yeah, and then Matt obviously did like 20 minutes. I was like, when's he fucking bringing me on? He said he'd do 5, but obviously this has all happened and stuff. And then as soon as she got kicked out, they all cheered. He gave me a nod and just brought me straight on. And I just went on and just sort of rode the wave of it. And like you say, we'd all just experienced something together. We all hated her, and we had this common interest. Because that's the first thing. You've got to, when you go on stage, you've got to show this crowd that you're,
like them.
One of them. You've got to be relatable, likable, and straight away, everyone knew that we all hated that knobhead. And it just made the gig so fucking easy. And that was the same as yours. Because as soon as she left, I just went, they're gone. Everyone cheered, and I got you straight on. And it was fucking great. Yeah. But the reason I bring up Feel Goods, we got off a tangent there. Going back to what you were saying about there's always that one guy that everyone knows. The second show we ever did at Feel Goods, some guy came in like midway through the show, and you've seen the venue. It's like a fucking rock venue. It's got loads of metal tables, and he just like starts talking at the back to himself. He's not with anyone. He's like the oldest guy in the world. He's just talking. So I went up to him, I was like, hey mate, don't mind, just fucking keep your voice down a little bit. Nice one, appreciate it. As I've walked off, he's got loads of sovereign rings on. He's just going like that on the metal fucking tables. Taking loads
you said nothing about punching.
I just went, what are you doing? And he went, nothing. Like, he's obviously mentally ill.
Like, stop the
I went over to the bar staff.
Nothing.
I went over to the bar staff and I went, that guy's being a bit of a fucking blurt. Can we do something about it? And he went, oh yeah, that's Bob.
It's Bob the Blaze.
Yeah, Bob the Blaze, yeah. Can we fuck the gig up? Yes, we can.
What shall I do tonight?
He was a fucking lunatic. And it eventually ended with him going over to the bar staff, having a big fucking argument with them. Then he came over to me and was just like, he shook my hand and was going, say sorry now. Say sorry now. And I was like, I'm not going to apologise. I'm not doing anything.
Demanding an apology. Like acting like he's physically giving you apology, but he's not actually saying sorry. He's just demanding one.
Yeah, because he said sorry when I've said sorry. Now you say sorry. And it's like, if I stab you in the nose, I can't then be like, oh, sorry about that, mate. But it was your nose,
so
you apologise.
Shake your hand.
Do you know them people? I'm always like a huge one. I hate bouncers. A lot of them, I hate them. You know what I mean? Because it's rare you find a cool bouncer. That's why they're there for them people. You know when? I mean, this may be a bit cruel, but you know when I get that very quickly. I'm like, someone just kick his head in, please. Can someone just brutally fucking beat this man to the point where he doesn't do it again?
Well, how else would you learn? Yeah, that's it.
How else are you gonna learn?
Yeah.
Then you come back like fucking Jake LaMotta. Like, you never got me down. You're like, someone's gonna kill him. Someone's gonna fucking kill him.
I saw someone get dragged out of Savard in town, like by a bouncer who just stormed up to this lad who was just causing mischief at the bar.
Mischief? Was it me? Because I got through on it because I let to sing at the bar.
Did he scream down your ear, get outside now before I bite your fucking ear?
No, he just dragged me out.
Is that what you did? Let a ciggy in the bar.
I was fucked, and I just didn't know where I was, and I was dragged out and thrown down the stairs, and I ended up getting up and going like keys, wallet, phone, and then going, what was that for? And he went, you fucking smoking at the bar? And I went, oh, yeah.
Have you ever seen like really like heavy like bouncer fights?
No,
I've
not live.
I saw one. I was out in
He's flicking through Sky Sports.
The Zone, come on, where's the bouncer brawls?
I was in Deansgate Locks one night, and I was just stood at the bar waiting to get a drink, and this fucking bouncer just like throws me out of the way, and he's got this fucking lad by the fucking scruff of the neck and his mate and all this sort of shit, and they've just been fucking carted out. Nothing's really happened or anything like that. You just sort of watched him go, oh, fucking hell, that's a bit mad. But I'm one of them, I love a bit of goss me. Do you know what I mean? I like fucking curtain twitcher whenever something happens outside the house. And I sort of went, oh, fucking hell, that's a bit mad. And I've sort of half followed them to sort of see what happens. As they've gone outside, the bouncer just thrown this fucking lad to the floor. Do you know, have you been on Deansgate Locks before?
No. Yeah. You're not done like King Gong or not, and it's where comedy store is?
No, me, no. Fucking avoided that like the fucking plague.
Like it was coming at you.
Yeah, didn't need that fucking scar there.
Well,
Frog and bucket was, that was
there's loads of like little bridges, and there's like it's above like some water and shit like that, and he's just sort of thrown him to the floor, and as he's thrown him to the floor, he's landed right next to a brick, and as he's fucking fell to the floor, he's grabbed the brick and just stood up and just fucking smacked the bouncer around the head with this brick. The bouncer just fucking fell to the floor instantly, and he's just fucking blurted off, and oh my god.
Skateboard just blurted away. That's like
you'd only get one good blade though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's gotta be a good fucking play. But that's like shit you see in movies, innit? You know, where they'll fall over and then they go, there's a brick there. Come on, there's never a brick there.
Reach of the pistol.
Yeah.
The bouncer was right next to a brick as well. It was who got there first, and then pathetic.
One kicked it away.
I knew a lad who was a bouncer who that's probably heavy. I probably shouldn't bring that up on the podcast.
Why do you always do this?
Yeah,
you've got to tell the story.
But
now.
there was. Do you remember? You know more about footy than me. There was a Liverpool game, like a Champions League game, and I think it was German fans started riots in town.
Oh really?
I think they would. It was a couple years ago now.
Or Italian, might have been Italian.
I just know that one of them.
He's getting very racist. Could have been any of them.
With Eastern, fucking hell, to get me started on them.
Well, one of them, like one of them, fucking hell.
It's a Mexican doing that.
There was like a lad I know who was a bouncer there was a fight outside a club, and all the bouncers from all the different clubs kind of swarmed because they've got like a radio between them, haven't they? And they all come out to like protect each other. And he either picked up the fella and dropped him on the pavement dead hard, or picked up something and dropped it on the fella. I can't remember which one. This fella ended up in.
It's another person.
No, he fucking did this. So the bouncer did it to the foreign fella, and he ended up like in a coma. Severe, like life-changing injuries. Don't know if he went to prison, and I don't know why I felt the need to bring it up on this.
You've got to make that funny now.
Cool
and
story,
that's how I met me dad. You've got to do something. You can't just leave us on that. You need to give us something.
He was a nice lad, to be fair.
Was he? Yeah.
Then he just did finger paintings for the rest of his life.
Sits in a chair like that. Someone comes and wipes his mouth every couple of hours.
Well, when you said bouncer fight, I thought you meant bouncer on bouncer. I've seen a million bouncers fuck kids up, which is always horrific. I was like, one not long ago. This is maybe like a couple of months ago. McDonald's on Queen Square. Not on Queen Square, sorry, but you're the main McDonald's.
Yeah, like Lord Street, just
and some kid just getting pummeled, and like, what's he done? What's he really done to deserve that? I don't think get annoying.
The last time I went to that Mackey's at Leith, it was an opposite experience. It was like nothing I'd ever seen before. One of the bouncers had pulled up like a white truck, next to the Mackies, because there's that big space, and he had his speakers blaring, he was getting the tunes blaring, and he was dancing, coming up to people going, you shouldn't be putting this shite in your bodies.
Oh my God.
He
sounds like a nightmare.
He was like Butland's Haven energy, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he was a wannabe blue coat, but yeah, he wasn't going to be kicking
fucking
no
little
one's head.
magic tricks and that for people at the door. Like, oh, I've got a bag of coke behind you here. No,
all I'm interested in is making these chicken nuggets disappear now. Fuck off. That's what it was like, lads, yeah.
If you Google Stockport McDonald's fight, then you'll our town's like almost like famous for this fucking fight that happened. It went like insanely viral.
06.
Oh mate, it was horrible. Yeah, it went insanely viral, and I was actually in the McDonald's the night it happened. Right? I wasn't involved in any way. I was just sat there like more views than this fucking pod's ever gonna get. You know what I mean? But we was
sat under the table during the famous Stockport McDonald's riots of 06.
But I went to the school with sort of the main guy that was sort of involved with it, and he was a fucking proper madhead.
The inciter of the...
Yeah, and it ended up like him behind the counter in McDonald's, and he's like fucking smacked this fucking mop over this girl's head and everything. Like it was heavy, yeah. And like it went insanely viral on Lad Bible and everything.
Hardcore match.
Yeah.
They went backstage, JR. Is that a mob? Not the mob. Funny.
Oh my God, there's so much blood.
I always
Fucks him through the window.
It's big in America, isn't it? You see people just jumping over the counter. To me, that's like sacred. Do you know, like you can't cross the fucking. So English, isn't it? Queues and bar, like
respect.
Yeah, you just can't cross it, and I just love when Americans are like, and let's be honest, it's usually black women who go crazy. They're the best videos. They are the best videos. Okay, clip this.
World star.
I give a fuck.
We won't be clipping this. The only clipping we're doing is clipping it out of the episode.
I demand it's kept in because they are the best because you don't give a shit. And they're like, there was 5 nuggets, motherfucker. And the next minute, bang, 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 weaves everywhere.
The worst thing about any video that happens in any town like that is it always comes with the caption like, only in Burnley. And it's like the most tame fucking video ever. It's just some woman that's had a piss in the fucking middle of a supermarket and like, oh, only in Burnley. Like that couldn't possibly happen anywhere else on the planet. It's like that will happen in every shit town.
Now.
It's like it's happening while you're posting that in a different town.
I saw a video from like fucking Coventry or something of this woman having a shit in a phone box, right? This fella's coming up with a camera going, you dirty bitch, what are you doing having a shit in a phone box? She starts kicking off on him and threatens to call the police. You've got your kicks on
shit.
Nah.
You wait. By the way, he's the dickhead there, isn't he?
Do you reckon?
So just let her have a shit. Like, she's clearly... She's had a crackhead.
She's got caught short, hasn't she, either way.
She didn't look like a crackhead.
And he's went, I'm going to fucking get a few likes out of this or something like that. He's a scumbag.
You know what? You fucking twisted it on its head. I think I'm back
I back that totally, yeah. He's like... This was between you and I until you filmed it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I hate that fucking... Like it happens a lot with like fucking cancel culture, if you like. We turn into every Joe Rogan episode ever at this point, but it happens a lot all the time. Like, so you'll say something that someone finds offensive, and then that'll go online. People will get offended, and you'll go, I'll take that down. But somebody somewhere has screenshot it, and now they're still sharing it, and it's like, well, you're upsetting more people now. I've said, oh, my bad, I didn't realize it was offensive. I'm sorry for that, and you're still continuing to share it. You're the dickhead at this point.
Of course. Yeah, you just fucking carry it on.
And that's all that's happens there. This was between me and you. I was having a shit. You saw it. Could have ended there. There's 25,000 people that have seen it now because you're a fucking knobhead.
Yeah, that's what fucking happened with the that clip that came out, and I'm talking about. I go to an Everton match with a friend of mine who's really camp, but we're close. And a few people have like messaged me and shit saying it's homophobic. And when it came out, I messaged my brother Martin, my eldest brother who's gay, and he was like, yeah, that's hilarious, and he loves dick, so shut up.
I love how there's always that alibi, innit? I messaged me mate Derek, who's got a turban, and he said it's sound.
Yeah, me mate, you suck one dick once.
Aaron was a little, so I fucking... like, I don't want to bring the mood down, nothing, but my nan's just died, right?
Oh shit, sorry man.
It's alright, you didn't kill her, you don't have to apologise.
Didn't I?
And that's how I met your dad.
Yeah, I thought I'd end up bringing it up because it's like fresh and that on a podcast, and part of me thought, as it's Sly bringing it up when Keegan's on, but I thought, nah, I want to make him uncomfortable.
Yeah, make him as
let's make it funny.
No, that's what I think, like last episode, Aaron was like, she was in hospital and I answered the phone call, right?
I said some horrendous things, Tom.
Before him, moments of passing.
And he made inappropriate jokes and I laughed at them, and he was like, oh, this will be, on camera, he was like, this will be getting cut. I was like, no, you need to keep it, because I think that when fucked up shit like that happens, you've got to make those jokes. It like alleviates the tension, and he did the best joke, mate. This is horrendous, by the way. She's literally, I get the call that it's like game over. And there's not going to be enough time for
Windows powering down.
I'm trying to say this as like broadly as
Windows
I can so
powering
that I
down.
don't get emotional and you just fucking keep on going. And I knew I couldn't. I wouldn't have got there in time. And the decision was made that like kids would go like rather than the grandkids. There's too many of us for like that final bit. I'd been in the hospital all day. I'd only been home for like 3 hours. I called. He just called me to see how I was, and I answered and I told him, and he was being like a dead good mate, like Joe, like kind of like a comforting tone, being nice, being reassuring. And then I was like, oh yeah, I feel like shit. You know, I can't. I'm not gonna. If I left now, I wouldn't get there anyway. And I've just ate a whole fucking Domino's, and I feel like shit. And he goes, fucking hell, lad. Last time I ate a full Domino's, I felt worse than your nan does now.
A full Domino's? Were you just crying into your fucking stuffed crust?
Yeah, I was boring.
Is that how you cope? Is that how you
It was
cope?
liquid, lad. I had me feelings. Yeah.
I was like that before, like, I started smoking weed to just eat. And now it's just, I think I just...
Before?
No, sorry, no, I'm saying I used to do the same with you. If I was sad or depressed, I'd eat.
Yeah.
But I think now I just do drugs.
But that's what, no, I'm surprised because isn't it doesn't the weed make you...
No, you'd think so, wouldn't you? But no, I was a really big kid. And then when I came back to school for sixth form, I'd lost so much weight. And all the teachers were like, Tom, you look really well. And I was like, cheers.
Yeah. I'm literally the
really
most unhealthy I've ever been.
So he's like these eyes will never recover. I look like I've constantly been...
You have a fat guy's eyes.
Mate, I look like I've constantly been head butted. And I've just got 2 crazy fucking black eyes. And I've just got to deal with that now. I've tried sleep, fucking rehydration, skin masks. I can't get rid of these black circles. It's just part of my identity now.
Every time I see you, I don't feel like
a
you've
fucking
aged.
badger. Not a badger, is it a raccoon? Yeah, I got that wrong.
Every time I see
We'll
you,
cut
I don't feel like you've aged, but I do feel like just a little bit of your life force is
It's
just
gone. It's
sapped
withered
away.
away.
Yeah, like
it
your
is.
hair's that little bit greyer
Yeah.
every time I see you, but you don't look
Everyone says
older.
that.
Yeah.
I like the grey hair now. I'm steering into the skid.
Yeah.
And it's like...
Does it remind you
What
of
a
your gram?
shame.
That was unwarranted. All the others I approved of because they cheered me up. That was an attack.
And it was accurate, which killed me. You know what I mean? Like, that fucked me up. He's not lying. He's not wrong.
It's tough for me. 'Cause
Simultaneously upset both of
I
us.
know. Jesus Christ.
it's tough for me because I've never lost it. I'm quite lucky I've never lost anyone close to me. But at the same time, I'm from
I
Stockport.
can't wait for you
So-
to...
Well, it's going to be a while because my nan's only 37. Do you know what I mean? Where I'm from. Like, it's going to be a long time.
That's funny.
I thought you meant like you can't wait for some of yours to start dropping
No,
off the way
because
you
he
said that.
deserves to feel the fucking
Yeah.
shit we felt.
Yeah, I don't have anyone close.
Yeah,
to me.
he's not
That's
that close to
fucking
anyone.
trouble as well, yeah.
Even his nanny's like, talked to him the last 2 years.
Do you believe in an afterlife?
I don't know. I'm an agnostic.
Yeah.
I was an atheist when I was a kid, and then I made the switch of like, I don't know what there is, man.
Yeah.
You know what
Was
I
this
mean?
around the same time you started smoking weed?
I never go into my ma. My ma tells the story at like 8, and I went up to my mum and I was like, I don't believe in God. And she was like, oh. Shit.
Every
Leave me
Scouse
alone.
mum ever got all the answers.
My parents were like pretty atheist, so I had it like drilled
That's
into
good.
me from young.
That's good.
Like I never like I was never christened or nothing like that. I've always been kind of atheist, and then when I was in like sort of college and uni, I was proper atheist. You know, I was like, oh, that's all bullshit.
Loved Gervais.
Yeah,
Couldn't get it out.
like 100% like all the fucking Ricky Gervais show and all that. But like now, I still don't. I don't really believe, but I like I wish I did. So it's a nice idea, and I get why
Yeah.
people get comfort from it. But honestly, like I've lost all my grandparents now, and I've been around for 3 of them, and all 3 of them.
Bad omen, you.
What, like every grandkid's been around for the death of
No,
all
oh,
of
to be
them,
fair, I only had one nan.
Yeah.
Who died. The rest were fucking dust before. the rest was dust before.
They were
I was
fucking
even
toast,
born.
lad.
Yeah. Kunaki.
Fucking shit houses.
Didn't have the metal.
Although I don't believe in an afterlife, I do find it mad that all 3 of them, like on their deathbeds, have like claim to have talked
something.
about dead relatives and
Oh,
shit.
lad, do you remember when fucking, this is a while ago now, on the Miles Eye Club we had a
Don't
medium
fucking
come in.
mention other podcasts.
I know,
on
sorry.
this. I'm joking.
on an
You make it
unnamed,
feel real.
on an unnamed podcast, a medium came in, right?
Oh, really?
And this fella just caught me. I don't know whether he just, I don't know, I just felt hook, line and sinker. He just said a couple things that like, I was like, there's no way. And then 2 hours after it, I was getting emotional and shit as he was talking to me. And like 2 hours later, I was like, has he just fucking blagged my head right off there?
Yeah.
And it's now recorded footage of me on YouTube going like, he says what? It's emotional. And then one of the things that he'd go, one of them was mentioning a ring, and because I was so invested in the other shit, I'd be like, no, there's no ring at all. But what else? You know what I mean? I was like, I just wanted
That's
to.
it, though. They try and fish,
Yeah,
don't they?
yeah,
I've
yeah,
seen
they
it
do.
happen. They like fucking. I don't believe in it, but it's mad. It's got to be your brain flushing in, like, Joe, like. I'm gonna sound like such a gimp now, but like the fucking dream chemical or whatever the fuck it is, Joe, to like.
Dopamine.
I don't know. I'm not going to act like I'm intelligent enough to know. But it must be flooding it with some sort of shit to try and like comfort you while everything else is getting fucked up.
Yeah, it's weird. My mum had like a clairvoyant come round like fucking 10, 15 years ago, some shit. Like I was dead young, like 5, 6 years old.
I'm proper
fucking ages
adverse to
ago.
this stuff, you know, those. And although I was bringing up the
What does adverse
conversation,
mean?
I don't like. I like this, the whole ghosts and shit. I just can't. Sorry.
What does adverse mean?
Like, yeah, I'm against it. I'm adverse to it or alert. Like, I don't like.
See, I'm not that proud. If I don't know a word, I'll ask you what it means. I go,
That's how you learn.
adverse.
Sorry, you were saying a clairvoyant.
She just had like a clairvoyant come round, and like she's like still probably got the recording somewhere, but she's like convinced this woman like knew everything there was to know about her life, and like she was like, oh, you've got a son. It's like, well,
she looked at the
Pictures
photos.
on
yeah,
the wall.
well, that's it. Yeah, she's also like 30, educated guess. You know what I mean? Likely to have a kid.
They cold read, don't they?
Yeah.
And you want to believe it,
Yeah.
because you want there to be like deep down, you want there to be some mysticism or something going on.
It'd be, like I said, it's comforting.
Apparently, she was saying like, you've got a son, and he's a little shit, something like that. That's what she was saying to her. It's like, but like you said it to any parent. They're never going to be like, actually, no, they've never done anything wrong.
Yeah.
You're just going to go, yeah, yes, actually, yeah. Oh, fucking hell, how did you know that? As if every kid's good as gold, and I'm the anomaly that she's fucking figured out. So she was like, yeah, he's you've got a son, and he's a little shit.
Yeah, even if your kid was like deaf, dumb, Down syndrome, and they were like, are your kids a bit naughty? You'd go, yeah. You would, yeah.
I'm sure there's like this American like medium on TV who's like a young lad, and you see him do it on all these clips, like Fish for the Information, where he does celebrities and that, and I'm sure he went over to one celebrity or someone who just lost like a parent, and it was the funniest thing ever watching him like try and fish and them just going,
giving them nothing.
They didn't have a blanket like that. What are you on about? He's like, you really need to find this stuff for Teddy, because the Teddy means, he never gave me a Teddy.
Just sinking
my whole life. Yeah,
I love that shit when people get their eye wiped. I seen a similar thing about
their eye wipe.
Yeah, because when people think like it was an art gallery somewhere, and someone just got an IKEA £5 wall painting and put it up in a gallery and a camera, and just people going up and going, I see what they're going for with the brush strokes and all that, and then they go, no, it's an IKEA piece, and they go, bloody hell, what am I like? You fucking fraud.
What's up, guys? The podcast is growing and we're dead happy, but we need your help.
What we need is for you to start sending us in your most embarrassing moments, the worst things that you've ever done to yourself or someone else, and most importantly, what you want to get off your chest.
So email us in at spreadnegativitypod@gmail.com, and if it's not shit, we'll read it out in a future episode. But I've got faith in you. It'll be fine. Pause it here. Go and send us something in, and then we'll read it out. Do it.
And as always, if you could like, comment, and subscribe, give us 5-star ratings on all the platforms that'll let you do it. It just means that more people will find us, and it's a big, big help.
Like we said, the podcast is growing quicker than we expected, and we're buzzing with the support. We really are, but we want to grow bigger. If you can, please keep telling your friends about us. Drop the link to the episode into your group chats and help us spread more negativity. You're the greatest. We love you. Let's get back to the episode.
Just to sort of get back to the fucking misery of me and dying when I was in hospitals. I don't know. I feel awkward bringing it up, lad. But when I was in hospital, something did cheer me up. I was sat with, it was just me, Rebecca, and me auntie, like sat around the bed. My nan was out of it. She was unconscious. We were just chatting, and the hospital is Arrow Park on the Wirral, and my auntie brought up, she went, oh, this is the hospital where they brought the Wuhan crew during the pandemic. And Rebecca went, what? Oh, really? Oh, I wouldn't know much about that. Liam's the one who likes the hip hop.
Fuck off.
The RZA. Did you say?
That's exactly what I said. Method Man and Redman. I think that's the Wu-Tang Clan, the fucking Wuhan crew. What are you on about?
You know?
I couldn't believe what she'd said.
I hate your missus, me. She's so fucking stupid. It's great.
How long you been with your bird now? I mean, your wife, sorry.
I know, it's weird. I have to keep checking myself for about 7 years now.
7, 8.
Gonna shit myself then. Couldn't get the number, lad. Yeah.
Should we do some features? Right, so we'll do a couple.
Yeah.
We've got a few things that have been sent in. So you already know all about this. You know what?
Oh, yeah.
People just send in like the worst thing that's ever happened to them, worst thing they've ever done. Like,
Fan of the show, aren't you,
anything
lad?
they want to get off the chest now. He's literally watched one episode and he's only halfway through that.
Yeah, I was going to say halfway through. That's generous, lad.
Is it work?
Okay, so this girl sent in the worst thing she's ever done. We all good? All ready? Fantastic, lovely stuff. So, Georgia Fuller says, "Hi, Aaron and Liam. I want to tell you what is by far the worst thing I've ever done. A couple of years ago, when I first started seeing my boyfriend, I stayed over at his house where he lives with his mum and dad. I woke up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. I wear glasses and they were on his side of the bed. With it being a new relationship, I was still nervous around him and didn't want to wake him, so I decided to try and navigate my way to the toilet without being able to see. Feeling awkward in a new house, I didn't put any lights on and just hope for the best. I got to the hallway and as I'm walking towards the bathroom, I stand on something and it lets out a huge yelp. Yes, I stood on my boyfriend's cat. It was genuinely the worst sound I've ever heard. My boyfriend heard it, as did his mum and dad, and all of them came running. His cat was really hurt and had to be taken to the vet in the middle of the night. It was there that we discovered I had broken its leg.
Oh,
fucking hell.
that's
Expensive,
bad.
that.
Amazingly, we're still together now and his cat is fine, but there's still a simmering tension around his family. I wish I could say they were being unreasonable, but I broke their cat's fucking leg.
She didn't mean it, though.
It cost £1,200 in vet bills and they wanted me to pay. This caused a huge tiff as I'm broke and I felt like they should have had insurance to keep costs down, but their response was that they never needed insurance until I stood on their pet. Hard to argue with it. I'm paying it off in installments. Please don't think I'm a bad person. I love the pod.
Right. I don't think they're a bad person for that.
No, I don't. No, I don't. I feel really sorry for this girl. I would say, if you love your boyfriend, love him, but his family sounds shit.
Yeah, but at the same time, she did curb stomp the fucking cat. So you would be a bit. You'd be she American History X to the cat.
Yeah, but it'd be a different story if she dragged it outside with a bloody swastika.
Made it bite the fucking.
Yeah. You fuck with the wrong bullet, eh? She's done it on accident. You know what I mean? It's not as if. Well, is the man like? Nah, I always knew she wanted to fucking kill the cat.
What was the situation about it being like dark again? Why?
So she wears glasses, and that's not a very good. It's like, I didn't want to
Alright,
make you.
yeah, alright, Velma.
But why would it like turning the light on in the hall?
Well,
They're not in a
she didn't wanna
studio
wake people.
apartment, are they?
She
No,
just
but-
thought she could get there. It's like,
She thought she probably knows where the bathroom is. Probably thought she can just walk to it.
I mean-
I sometimes go to the toilet without putting a light on.
and
Yeah,
it's
but you know the lay of the land, and there's no fucking cat that you're gonna twat.
fuck cats as well.
Yeah.
If it was a dog, I'd be like, I love.
I wouldn't have read it out. I'd have messaged you back like, you're a piece of shit. But it's a
Cat,
cat. It's like, hi.
feline. Oh, okay, yeah. Don't they
like
grow a
cats,
new one or
mate.
something? Wait there. So you're telling me I can drop a cat from a fucking 18-story building that'll land on its feet and walk away? But if I imagine she's not a big girl. I don't know. She
I mean,
might
she
be.
didn't send a picture of herself in with me. Like,
She might be. Unless you're huge. I mean, you can break a cat's leg by standing on it.
That's a shit cat though, aren't
Yeah,
they?
it
They're
doesn't
supposed to have
seem-
reflexes, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I remember bragging to a mate I had reflexes like a cat before I finished the word reflexes. He slapped me across the face.
I was literally just about to reach down with his bottle of water.
Yeah, it was the best. It was the most memorable slap I've ever had because I was devastated, but also impressed.
how do we feel about her having to pay it off in installments? That's half
Ridiculous.
shitty, isn't it?
Fucking ridiculous.
Nah, break it, you buy it.
No.
I get it, lads. I think it's sound. That you did it.
Do you know what? If it was a stranger, yeah, I'd be like, listen, you're gonna have to fucking sort these. If it's my son's girlfriend who I know didn't mean it, am I gonna fucking bankrupt this girl? No way.
Nah, I would. Yeah,
I want to know how old she is. It's the fact
bin
that
the
she's
cat.
feeling this awkward, insecure, and the fact that he lives with his mum and dad. She's got to be about 20, hasn't she?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. I live with Rebecca's mum and dad.
Yeah, but you wouldn't
I'm
feel
married.
that. You just
I'm
put a
married
fucking,
and 31,
yeah,
lad.
but you're so past it. You just put the light on. You know what I mean?
No,
you
no,
just
I-
grab your light, your glasses. Like you're not fucking ass.
I walk bollockos to the bathroom.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how comfortable I am. That's not a joke.
But
And Zara fucking hates you. He's trying to young lion him.
Oh, he walked in and saw me dick once. It was dead sad.
Yeah, you've mentioned it on it.
Yeah, I was depressed. Lad. We made eye contact and he made dick contact. And no words were said.
You gotta look.
He would though. I don't
gotta
blame
look.
him. No.
I'm intrigued to see what your dick looks like.
It's not good.
Yeah,
It's not bad.
Yes.
It's not good either.
So what are we saying? Is she fine?
Yeah,
Is she off the hook? I think she is.
She's
Like,
a good person, but I do. It's half.
You're a
cunty.
tight
it
ass.
depends how broke they are, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If they're flat broke and you know what I mean, like if they're just making ends meet, why should they pay it as well?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
If
just because
they're
you got
loaded-
loads of money doesn't mean you can part.
No, but
Like,
I'd be a bit more like I'll sort it if I've got 300 grand in the bank. When she's got
Was the
fucking
cat?
600
I
quid.
want to know. I wish I knew as well. Was the cat like fine? Was it just limping a bit,
it broke its fucking
or was it
leg.
like on the floor? You know what I mean? Was it like coughing up? Yeah,
You're a fucking sociopath, you. You've got
no,
to
because cats can walk shit off.
Send us the leg.
Did she go like? Was the cat fine? And the mum was like, "No, I need an
How have we
X-ray."
read this out about a cat having a fucking broken leg, and you've gone, well, I want to see footage actually.
Yeah.
I want to see receipts.
I want to know how badly hurt the cat was. Really? Because
Yeah, but badly
Sort
all right. Don't
itself
think of
out.
it as a cat. Think of it as a fucking coffee table. It's a possession of these people. If you fucking scratch the coffee table, you pay to get it repaired, wouldn't you? You'd offer to. I scratched my neighbour's car.
Okay, right.
First thing I did was go over because they were sound and just say, "Look, I've done this. I'll pay."
it's so funny. My initial instinct is run hard tonight, like to everything. Run hard tonight. I'm scared, and I just haven't got the moral decency to
Yeah,
fucking.
I couldn't afford it either. I
admit
was
to shit.
devastated. I had that thought. I often think that I'm a really bad person who does the right thing because whenever I always, for the most part, I do the right thing, but I never want to.
No,
Me instincts in my head always tell me
Okay,
not
okay.
to do it.
Think of it this way then. You've been driving down the street.
Yep.
No, you've not been driving down the street. You've been on a bike. You've been fucking pedaling down the street, and you've gone into this guy's car.
Yeah.
Right. Completely fucking concaved the one side of the car in, like the window, the door, and everything. It's all fucked. You go and knock on his door, and he doesn't have any insurance at all. So what you thought was going to be 100 quid excess that you would have to pay is now £2,000. Is that not a bit shitty on him for not having insurance?
Yeah.
He's the one that doesn't have any, and now you've like. I can understand why she's half fucking like, come on. It's 1,200 quid.
Yeah.
It could have been 50. You know what I mean?
Who's insuring a cat? Insurance companies get
I don't know.
much, don't
Vet
fucking-
insurance.
She's the best looking cat in the world.
Yeah, I wouldn't insure a pet. Fuck insurance companies, mate. The scum, aren't they?
We
Yeah,
got-
but they
we-
also
You
if
pay
ever-
them hoping you'd never need.
No, the scum is the vets that charge you £5,000 to sort out its fucking kidney
Yeah,
and
that's
to operate on it and everything. The
Insurance.
insurance keeps the cost
Yeah, yeah.
down.
Are you
The
telling me
insurance
cotton
company's
buds
more-
cost £5,000?
I'd say the insurance is more scum. Do you not think? They will go out their way to try not to pay you.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah. But also, you pay 20 quid a month, and then if you've got a £5,000 bill, they'll just take care of it and you'll give them £100.
I am digressing. I get you.
Yeah. We've got 2 Shih Tzus in ours, and unfortunately,
Sorry to interrupt you, but you didn't seem to show any affection. You didn't say like.
I told you I was a dog person. I don't give a fuck about
No, but you
cats.
didn't seem to show any affection for the dogs. Then you just kind of like talked
Well,
about them
this
as if
is
they exist around you.
this is my point. They're not our dogs.
Oh.
We haven't stolen them. They were my mother's friend's dogs, and we took them in. It's 2 little Shih Tzus, and I love them to death. But
Okay.
mate, if one of them gets sick, I've said to my man, I'm like, I will shovel one of them in the head if you want a bill. I love them, and I don't.
We are going to have the most dislikes we've ever had.
But a mercy kill, not like getting me thrills out of it, like an old yeller. You know what I mean? But I just haven't got a shotgun or like a nice shed. I've got a spade and a tiny
Not
backyard.
even a shovel, a spade.
It's anything. To be fair, mate, anything that's blunt. I like
Right, but I can understand the logic if it's just happened and you can't afford it and the dog's in pain. What you're saying is, hey, can't wait for that fucking dog to get ill, you know, so I can just pelt it round the head.
I've been
with a
trying
fucking
to say that
shovel.
you pick
Like the
out.
fact that you've already told everyone where you stand, unwarranted, makes you a bit of a fucking lunatic.
Maybe so, but I think it's practical. It's like, rather than me ma having to pay fucking, loads for these 2 dogs who are lovely and gorgeous, but are going to be dead soon anyway. So why are we paying 200 quid so it can feel better for another 4 months?
Yeah,
Not for
that's
long,
it,
mate. Not when I've got my hands on it.
You've just hit the nail on the head there. How old's the fucking cat?
The dog on the head.
There's not gonna with the bricks.
How old's the fucking cat?
She didn't say. I think she's trying her best to not sound like a knobhead in this situation. Do you know what I mean? If she'd have gone right at the end of the story, and also the cat's fucking 14, the annoying cunt. Then do you know what I mean? We can't really get on board with how sad she feels and how bad.
Trying to dance on a cat in the middle of the night, you evil bastard.
I think it's sound that she pays for the cat, me personally.
It's just a tough one, isn't it? It's.
Turn the light on, you dickhead. That's all I'd say. Just turn the phone
on. Yeah.
Fucking go.
Yeah. I'd rather you wake me up than break me cat's leg.
Yeah. I mean, you love your sleep a lot if you'd rather a cat die so you can get an extra half hour. Should we do another one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. Okay. I'm trying to work out which one's the better one to do. This is a quick one. This will be sound. Hiya, lads. I honestly have no idea why I'm sending this in. I guess I've grown to laugh about it now, but fuck me, my life was momentarily ruined. About a year ago, I was seeing this girl. We were quite sexually active, and she was always really vocal, like distractingly loud. I think I'm all right in bed, but I'm not that good that you need to be waking up the entire street. That being said, she made me feel like a demon in the sack, and I let it happen. That is until one day when we...
The choice of words, lad.
Demon in the sack,
and I let it happen.
That is until one day when we had just finished and she said something along the lines of, I love having sex with you. My ex-boyfriend's dick was way too big, but yours fits just fine. I went and stared at the wall in another room for 3 hours. Still not sure why I'm sending this in, but a problem shared is a problem halved, I guess. Love the pod, Jamie.
Love his honesty.
Yeah.
It's on you, Jamie.
Mate, if you want, we'll send you a picture of Liam's dick. You won't feel that fucking bad no more.
But
I've genuinely
She's
got
saying
material
that as a
about this exact thing.
Yeah,
she's saying it as a compliment, isn't she?
it's because I've never had a dick in me, not yet.
Give it
But
time.
I have heard that.
Oh,
that.
you've definitely not watched the pod then. That's the closing feature.
Oh shit!
My turn
I've
this
got me
week,
dick
lad. You'll be
stories.
sound. Don't worry, you won't feel nothing.
Yeah, but it's a spit roast thing, surely. Is it not?
I just sit in the corner making cat noises to reference the episode.
What was I saying?
I don't know.
Dick sizes.
Oh yeah. I've heard that before. Like, if it's too big, it's not pleasurable. So
Yeah.
maybe she's just being honest. I mean, but it is the thought of your beard having to deal with a mammoth fucking.
Why do we all want dead big dicks?
It's weird, isn't it? Because I've genuinely got material about this
Sick,
exact thing. Beth's been with somebody bigger. And, you know,
Oh yeah, you don't want to hear that information.
yeah.
no.
And, like straight away, I'm just like, oh, what's his name? Fucking.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And but at the same time,
Yeah,
it's annoying because when it comes out of my mouth, I sound like, well, she didn't enjoy it anyway. But like, she genuinely said like it was fucking. Like, what do I do with that? Do you know what I mean?
And you've got you're like intelligent enough to be able to be like, I can fucking deal with it. But there are guys out there who like they can't. You know what I mean?
I don't.
can't accept
To be
it.
fair, like I don't know any of her ex's names except this lad.
Ah, right.
Do you know what I mean?
What was his name? Big old Willie. Bill Johnson. What was his name? Tyrone.
But what you were saying then about he's intelligent enough to get past it, this is where I struggle because I feel like there's a difference between logical intelligence and emotional intelligence.
Yeah,
I can
that's a good
add in
point.
my head I'd have that where I completely understand there's nothing wrong with it, but emotionally,
Because we
I'm
all
a
know
fragile mess.
we may have been with girls with better boobs or a better bum. Do you know what I mean? We wouldn't say it because we're not fucking evil, horrible bastards like women are, but you know what I mean? So
Right, Beth, thanks for watching, babe. Tom's dead sound, by the way. He's a big fan of you.
For the record, I haven't.
okay.
I genuinely haven't though.
Again, a little kid, that's cool. But, you know,
Genuinely
we wouldn't say that
haven't,
to you know, if we were with someone.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. It's fucking,
Wouldn't be like, oh, I couldn't bear how big her tits were.
Yeah,
it was just wasn't
that's
enjoyable at a
You
certain
could
point.
say, you'd say it out loud, but not
it's
to
not
them.
Well, that's it. She said it from a place of. She said it from a place like she is giving him a compliment. She's not realised how it's come across to him.
Yeah,
the fact
yeah.
she's gone just fine. It's like, I quit life, mate. I'm fucking.
Yours, well, yeah, like the Three Little Bears.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
this one's too big. Too small. Your one is
Goldilocks
just
sitting on
right.
every knob.
Yeah. But that's it. She said it from it. Like, we couldn't ever say, oh, fucking hell, my ex had such a big ass. And it just got to the point where I was hating it. I didn't expect her to understand.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's not ever going to come across in the same way, is it?
No,
Like,
okay, good
oh, it
point.
was so tight that it hurt my dick.
You could do that.
No.
Would you rather have a dick that was too big or too little?
Yeah, it's have to be
Not
too
even
big,
a question, is it? Yeah.
If it's too big, though, it's a fucking, it's a conversation starter.
Yeah,
innit?
yeah, and they're going to, you know what I mean? They're not going to be nice girls, but there are going to be girls out there who will find it okay.
But like cock and bollocks,
So the best chance of sleeping with me and Malco in it, to be fair. It's the only chance I've got. If you go into porn, then you use it. You can't. No one's like paying to see the tiny.
Yeah, but now you've got the bang, bang, bang. I was trying to do the shoot to money, but it's too long of a build up.
I was waiting for the rest of the tune to come.
I know. It was like,
instrument you were playing. You're playing the nipples there.
I started with the bass and I was like, oh my god, it's like a 2-minute song. This is going to get to the chorus fast.
Just the fucking picture comes up. It's like instrumental, 39 seconds. Just waiting for the fucking.
It says in the comments, skip 2.
Would you though? Would you go into porn if you were built for it?
Nah. Probably not. No. Seems very sad. Seems like a sad.
I'd like to be an extra. In porn.
An
That'd be
extra.
great. Yeah.
I don't know so much, about it being sad because you hear off the people who haven't quite like gone. They've gone as far as they can with it. If you spoke to some open spots, they'd moan about comedy in the industry.
You're not thinking of trying to find love outside of, because I always think about if you met a girl.
You have more depth than I thought you did. Like,
what the fuck?
Keep talking to me.
Because if you met a girl and you fell for it and it turns out she's in porn, you'd be like, I can't. I don't know, maybe some people can.
I'm very understanding.
I couldn't get past
I think
it.
you're right for me. Like,
just
it's
knowing
what I said, the emotional and logical intelligence.
Yeah.
Logically, I'm be like, it's a job and it's fine, and I don't judge people who do that for a living, but emotionally, I'll be like, I think I'm too insecure.
Yeah, I could just know when she's like, see you when I get home from work, and you're just like, see ya. Like, just knowing she's gonna go and get fucking railed everywhere.
Yeah,
and you're like that on your fucking laptop in work, like, whoa, what she's up to tonight? You couldn't handle it. And I imagine it must be the same
He's
for
just
women.
like working in a warehouse, just packing boxes, and she's getting fucking packs in.
Every time there's a crowd of people around the phone, you're like, who is it? What's going on?
It depends, doesn't it?
That often happens in the workplace. Fellas just
in a warehouse, you know.
If she's a porn star on minimum wage, then I struggle with it more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, just go and work in any other place. You're doing it for the love of the game, if you get that. But if you're on 80 grand a year, I'll be a stay-at-home husband to me. Do you know what? Sound, no worries. Absolutely no problem. I'm at that level, mate. I don't want to fucking work.
No.
But it was stand-up. I've worked for 20 minutes a night, tops. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm done.
It must be the same for girls as well. They must be like, oh, I love him. But he's a porn star and he goes out and, you know what I mean?
They often end up with each other, don't they?
Yeah, you'd have to.
I'm saying that. I don't have a fucking clue.
No, you just came to
Once
that
again,
conclusion.
typical straight white man talking about
Probably
things
right,
I don't
though.
understand.
I mean, you probably understand porn quite well. Like, you probably got.
Yeah, we had at me. This is that embarrassing. At me stag do. There was a fucking quiz because we're solid us, and part of the quiz was name that porn star, right? And on our team, my
only got the men.
Johnny Sins, that's all I know.
My mate was right.
Diesel, Shane Diesel.
I was just whispering like fucking. It was embarrassing how many I knew. Like just whispered them into his ear, and my other mate was like, I looked over at your team and I thought, fucking hell, his pen hasn't stopped touching the paper. He was just like writing them all down like that. And everyone was going to me afterwards. Why do you know the Why do you know him? Why do you know the fellas? And I just think, the content creators.
But I got worrying when you were fucking naming retired ones. Back up the fucking files and you went there. It's like, oh no, he was amazing in his day, in his prime. He's the fucking boy.
I'm so annoyed that not one of your mates put like a picture of like your mum. Do you know what I mean? It's like as they're scrolling through, name that part. Oh, for fuck's.
I was not in it. And then just whispered the name.
Yeah, you'd been so engrossed. I want to win, all right?
Come on, the rest of it was all sports. That was it. That was literally that won our team.
You've got a quiz today. If any porn fucking thingies come up,
I'm keeping my mouth shut, lad.
We didn't actually get to you. What's the worst thing you've ever done? Have you ever done anything?
I successfully framed my younger cousin as shit in the bed.
Oh, younger cousin as well.
Yeah, and he was, the reason I got away with it is because I was
framed. It makes it sound like it's gone to jail.
Makes it sound like there was a court case, like the family was like, we need a word.
Yeah, well, there was no
family meeting.
Yeah, there was no television for a few weeks, I imagine, but we were sharing a bed, me and my little cousin. I think it'd be like a family party and we'd stayed over, and I shit the bed, diarrhea everywhere, and out of sheer panic, instead of just going down and being mortified and saying, oh, this has happened, I blamed it on my little cousin. And I was such a good liar. I'm a great manipulator, I'll be honest. I am. It's not.
Ladies.
Yeah. I gaslight, I manipulate. I've got it all, baby.
That's a soundbite. Opening section of the episode.
Yeah, and I just, he was too young where he couldn't like articulate the fact that. So he must have thought he did it, and I was like, I've went down.
How fix your cousin that he thought he shit himself because you told him he did?
He was a kid, man. He was
How
a
old
kid.
were you?
I must have been about 10.
And how old was he?
Oh, 6,
Lad,
younger.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's
It was, but I didn't think it through because I must have stunk as shit. Do you know what I mean? So I've just like, I think I just got it off the areas where it mattered, and then I went down on like that, watching like fucking Scooby-Doo, just waiting for it to all kick off. You know what I mean? And then at some point,
Imagine you got caught. You were like, I would have got away with it if it wasn't.
if it wasn't for you meddling kids. The fucking, but I never sitting there and watched cartoons, whatever like that, just waiting for it all for the diarrhea to hit the fan. And I've just been like, there's chaos upstairs, and then he's sobbing, crying because his mom's like, "The fuck have you done?" And I must have just popped my head and went, give it one of them. Oh, what's he done? Oh, Cameron. Oh no, I was in his name. Never mind. It was me, lad. It was me.
How old is he now?
He's with battery now. The size of him now. Jesus Christ.
Oh, lad, that is
Fucking
evil
hell.
genius level though for a 10-year-old to manipulate that much.
It'll be
What's the most
poetic,
trouble
but-
you'd get in?
It'll be poetic if Cameron kicks the shit out of him
Yeah,
now.
all
though.
kinds of shits in my bed.
While you're in it, like the Godfather, instead of a horse's head.
Gradually more shit. Tails, shit.
Fucking hell. Oh, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for
Tom.
having
We
me on, lads.
appreciate it,
Enjoyed
man.
that.
Have you got anything you want to plug?
I'm on Instagram, @TKComedy_, rolls off the tongue. Yeah, I'm on Twitter, Tom Keegan. There's a little follow in there. Come watch me do stand up.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Give us 3 things that you hate.
Steven Gerrard and his 2 kids.
That's it.